Hi everyone. Today I just want to do a quick shout out to the people that got houses on the market and they're getting a little bit concerned, they're a bit worried, they're not getting people for open inspections, it's sitting there on the market, it's been there for a while. You might start blaming the economy, you might blame the government, you might blame the agent. But I'd like to put a caveat on that. If you're blaming the agent, you should blame the agent if they have given you an inflated price just to win your business. All right, think about that. And they've got problems. But what I'd like to do is go through the 4 Ps of what sells property. And I'm going to give you a bonus 5th P, but we'll get to that afterwards. Number 1, the first thing you got to look at is presentation. Presentation is everything. It's there to make sure your house stands out from everyone else, especially in the photos. So spend the time, do that little bit extra and make your house stand out from the rest. Number 2 is promotion. Now, we might say, all right, I'll get photos taken, I'll put it on realestate.com or Domain, and we'll put it there and hope. Hope is not a strategy. What I'd like to say is, you've got to do a systematic and structured social media campaign. You've got to do email blasts. You've got to head out to your database. You've got to get onto the buyers that have missed out on similar properties in the area. And not just put it onto realestate.com and Domain, which are paid for sites. There's roughly another 10 sites that are not paid for that you can put it on. Also, with EXP, it goes onto a global site. So your property goes around the world. Think about it. Number 3 is position. You say, well, Clinton, I can't pick my house up and put it somewhere else. Of course you can't. But you got to remember that some areas are more desirable than others, even in some suburbs. There might be one part of the suburb that's closer to a school, closer to public transport, or closer to a nice park, and that's going to be more desirable in that suburb than somewhere else. So we can't move the house, but we've got to take it into consideration. Now, the big one, price. This is number 4. There's been houses that have been fantastic, but they have not sold. Why? Because of price. So what I'd say is, you might think, all right, I want to get X amount. So I'm going to put my house up here and buyers will bring it down. It'd be all right if that worked, but it doesn't. What happens is that it goes on the market with everything else. People start saying, well, that's overpriced for that area. It gets overlooked. And then your house starts getting stale. It's sitting on the market. We're not getting people through the open inspections. And then people start saying, all right, is there something wrong with that property? Why isn't it selling? So that's a big thing. I'd recommend that you're competitive with your pricing. You might even be a little bit lower. Just think, what happens with Boxing Day sales? There's such a mad rush that everything gets snapped up. Well, you've only got the one house. So what will happen is, if there's lots of competition for your home, the buyer, if they're good, they'll be able to negotiate your property up. And in saying that, you need to get your agent to demonstrate how they negotiate. Because if they don't negotiate or don't have the ability to negotiate, and I don't mean paper shuffling of offers one between each other, I mean actual negotiation, then you might as well sell the house yourself. You could put a sign up. You could have open inspections and hand out brochures. That's why you pay an agent. So there you go. That's the 4 Ps. And now the 5th P, like I said, is potential. Potential is, all right, there's a lot of infilling going on now. So big blocks are getting split in half and they're getting 2 houses put on. And you think that's fantastic. It is fantastic if the developer can seize the potential and see there's a profit in it. Now, they're not going to take the risk and they're not going to spend the time and the effort doing it if they're not going to make a profit at the end. So you think that means that they need to buy your property at a certain amount. So therefore, your property might be better for an emotional family buyer that wants it for themselves, who will pay that little bit extra. Now, and for the developers out there, I've got something for you. I've got a tool that I created called DevCheck. You can get it to devcheck.clintonbarkerproperty.com.au. That is a free tool. You can get on there and check if a property is feasible or not. Put all the figures in and it will give you a summary exactly if it's profitable or not profitable. There you go. I look forward to helping you in the future, and I look forward to contacting you soon. Bye for now.